As of right now, Disney is still working on over a dozen Star Wars projects on Disney+. Just for an example here, we have, of course, The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4. We've got the Ahsoka Tano show, the Kenobi series, the Bad Batch, and more to come as well. That's really going to make up this new Star Wars universe between Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you are very well aware of what happened just 48 hours ago of the Gina Carano situation. We talked about this numerous times in the past couple of posts, if you guys want to go ahead and check them out. Obviously, a lot of fans are very upset, and a lot of fans have different opinions on Gina Carano's outlook on things. But one thing I do want to bring up here is exactly what's been going on with Lucasfilm. Now, Lucasfilm, we do know, is a very complex company right now. There are a lot of creators on there that are more in line with Kathleen Kennedy's vision, and you've also got other creators that are more in line with George Lucas's vision of Star Wars. And particularly, we're looking at what Kathleen Kennedy is doing with Star Wars, the Acolyte series. Now, that series, mind you, by Leslie Headland, is going to essentially focus more so on forced agendas rather than developing a concrete story and proper character development, if that makes sense. Meanwhile, you have Jon and Dave, as well as George, really working on this new universe that's going to be more in line with what Star Wars Legends was, also known as the old expanded universe, that's going to really cater to a lot of hardcore fans out there, so that's good news. Now, the thing about Kathleen Kennedy right now is that there's a lot of things happening over at Lucasfilm, and how Kathleen Kennedy basically is in a very interesting state of mind here when it comes to the character of Luke. Specifically, with the Ahsoka series and The Mandalorian Season 3 currently moving along very well with production, mind you, both Favreau and Filoni are heavily invested in the new Star Wars universe. However, it's described that behind the scenes, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy has been trying to form a plan to end the new version of Luke Skywalker that was introduced in Mando Season 2's finale, and wants to cancel this version of the character. Now, it's noted that recently Kathleen Kennedy went as far with this to bring this up with Disney CEO Bob Chapek, requesting him to end the Luke Skywalker character by Jon Favreau, and that she is in a state of feeling that Favreau's version of Luke will erase her version of Luke from the sequel trilogy movies. Though Bob Chapek denied and refused to end Luke Skywalker, Kathleen Kennedy is pushing this upon Bob to do this as soon as possible. However, Chapek is making sure that Luke Skywalker is going nowhere, and that he is very happy with what Favreau has planned for Luke in the Mandoverse on Disney+. It's also noted that Kathleen Kennedy actually feels jealous over Jon's success with his treatment of Skywalker in comparison to how he was handled by her in the sequels. Favreau plans to bring in Luke for the Ahsoka series, Mando Season 3 and 4, and beyond, as well as other projects in the mix for the Mandoverse and overall the franchise of Star Wars. Here's the thing about the character of Luke. Now, though that big entrance in Season 2 really made a lot of fans very happy and surprised and just awe-inspired, right? It shocked the fan base. A lot of fans had emotions, and a lot of fans were very much, surprised and shocked to see such a thing take place in The Mandalorian. That's where Jon Favreau is able to do great things. He is able to surprise the fans. He is able to give fans hope about what's to come. And that's exactly what Jon and Dave are doing still. Anything, related to Disney+, things are still moving forward. Make no mistake. Yes, I know the Gina Carano situation was a big deal. A lot of fans are canceling their subscriptions with Disney+. But nonetheless, things are moving forward when it comes to the two most anticipated TV shows right now besides The Mandalorian, Ahsoka and Kenobi, both of which are slated for a release in 2022 and 2023. Now, Kenobi, by the way, is filming as we speak. Ahsoka Tano is still in pre-production. We got Dave Filoni and Jon writing the scripts of that show, and they're moving along very well. They're actually planning to begin filming that at least in the fall of this year, and that's going to last throughout 2022. because it's going to be a very high budget TV show. They want to make it movie-like, and that, I think, is the way to go. Now, I want to go over to Kathleen Kennedy here. Now, this is where Kathleen Kennedy is in the wrong, and it just goes to show you that it's all about power, it's all about ego, alright, when it comes to her position as president of Lucasfilm. To me, I think that if you had no ego and you had no power-driven goals here, you wouldn't really care about another person's success. You wouldn't. You'd be happy for them, as, you know, any normal person would be. You would be happy for their success of what they did with that character of Luke, such as Jon Favreau's treatment of him in Season 2 of Mando. I understand that we didn't get a lot of Luke in the Season 2 finale. I understand that. It wasn't all that much, but it was 2 minutes of absolute perfection, in my opinion. You know, we got to see Luke Skywalker in action, number 1. Number 2, we got to see Luke Skywalker and his philosophy restored. And number 3, we actually got to see him take Grogu as a student, kind of establishing that old Star Wars Legends side of Luke, being the simple-minded Jedi Master / Jedi Knight that he was. And that's what I love so much about him, is that they are keeping it very simple with the character so far. The other thing is this, alright, is that we all know that everything related to Disney Star Wars, it has been a very complex thing over the past couple of years. Obviously, a lot of fans are very much skeptical on whether or not Disney can very well succeed in making Star Wars as successful as the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is successful because it follows the source material. You guys remember that interview about 6 months ago where Kathleen Kennedy said that there is no source material? There are no books or comics or novels to draw from when it comes to Star Wars beyond Disney's control. That was a complete lie, and we all know it because obviously Legends exists. It does indeed exist. We have seen it from the late 80s all the way up until 2013 with the last book called Crucible. And well, I don't know why Kathleen Kennedy would make a statement like that, where the truth is literally just sitting in front of her face right there. It just made her look very pathetic in my eyes, and it almost came off as she was trying to just brainwash specific Star Wars fans to completing them as new fans. So, like I've said, I think that everything related to this franchise, it's still moving in the right direction, regardless of what happened with Gina. You know, whether you like her or hate her, you know, it was a very, you know, complex situation that a lot of fans have different opinions over as we speak. So, like I said before in the past, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.